You can go whenever you like.
Hi, I'm Elise,
And I'm Evelyn.
and today I am super excited to be back on the Angel Baby Show.
Yes, so exciting. We
Wait,
love
is this our third episode or
Yes, this is
okay?
our third episode. Super exciting. We love the Angel Baby Show. We love people that listen. It's so funny. We're talking to our friends that are listening. So if shout out to some of our college friends, some of our childhood friends, and also just shout out to anyone that doesn't know us. I'm Ava Lynn. You can find me on Instagram, Ava Lynn Thurston, and then Elise is also on Instagram. And yeah, we have some exciting stuff to talk about in our third episode. And thank you for making us number 1 and 2 this week across radio stations, across podcasts. It's super exciting to be here, and it's just a really fun summer thing.
I know it makes me a little nervous knowing that some of my friends are watching or listening because now I'm like, oh, what am I gonna say? But yeah, we wanted to kind of welcome in and talk a little bit about this week and just what's been going on in our week. We recently moved houses, and Ava was in Santa Barbara, I was in Palm Springs, but I don't know about you, but even like while I was working this week and had so much to do, I was so consumed with the submarine story that was going on.
Yes.
Like with the Titanic and the people that were on Ocean Gate, and they were taking a submarine down to see the Titanic. And I mean, for me, like personally, Titanic is my favorite movie of all time, and I'm obsessed with it. And so when this first came out, all of my people were just sending it to me because they knew I love Titanic, and they were like, look what's going on, this submarine's missing. And this was on Sunday, and I thought, oh, okay, well, they'll find it or it'll be fine.
Oh god.
And then it just dragged on, and social media and everyone went nuts over this. It was crazy.
I know, it's so funny. I like didn't even think about you at first because I like kind of thought of the submarine. Like I didn't know that it was correlated with like the Titanic, like they were going down to see the Titanic. But the second I heard it was about Titanic, it was so funny. We were texting and you were like, I would do that. You were like,
No,
I would fully do that.
That's what my initial thought was. I didn't even know you could go see the Titanic. I didn't know that like I thought you had to be a certified undersea diver explorer. And of course, my initial reaction was, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I would love to do something like that. Which is obviously really morbid because on Thursday they found, particles of the submarine or submersible. And, it's really fascinating to me because so as a kid, I was like obsessed. Titanic's my favorite movie. I was obsessed with all the history and looking things up with it. And after that, they found, the boat or the submarine, and they kind of concluded that all of the people on Ocean Gate didn't make it, which is really sad. James Cameron came out and had a comment on this. And James Cameron is the director of Titanic. He did the Avatar movies. And I did not realize how committed he was to making this movie. He went down, I think, to see the Titanic wreckage 33 times. So
Wow.
is a total expert in just this submarine knowledge. And he was saying pretty openly on the news, voicing his opinion that he thinks that the CEO of it, there were warnings, it wasn't done properly, they didn't have the right safety regulations. And I mean, I thought that was pretty bold to say, but then I was like, I mean, it's James Cameron, like he can kind of say whatever.
Yeah.
But
I know, it's definitely sad. It's what's so like hilariously like disturbing about our generation is that it's just like meme central on the internet about like this Ocean Gate thing. And it's sad, but it's also like just kind of crazy that they went to those lengths to kind of like
I know.
to go see the Titanic. And a lot of us were like, me personally, I was like, why don't you just watch the movie, But like, some people really want, in person.
I feel like what made it so memeable was that there were like 2 billionaires on the submarine.
Yeah.
And so I think sympathy just weirdly goes down when you know that
Oh gosh.
that's so bad. But I don't know. I mean, it was definitely really fascinating, and people were following it, and everyone was like looking at the live updates, and they heard banging noises, and they had a whole explore search going on. But I don't know, I haven't seen kids my age that caught up with like the news
I know.
going on in a long time, and I felt like everyone was pretty fascinated with it.
I know, especially for news that comes out in the summer. It's almost like a hit or miss. It's because, a lot of us are either bored in the summer or like really busy and traveling and not like never on your phone. So I
Mhm.
feel like news can kind of either go like both ways. Like it's either something that everyone obsesses over or it's like nobody knows anything about. It's kind of funny like what gets really, really popular and what doesn't.
Yeah, and I think the reason why people our age got so into this story was, there's a lot of horrific things on the news, and people horrible things happening, but I think that because it was related to the Titanic, which is such a
Right.
famous story, and there's a movie, and even, you can kind of ask like, why did that shipwreck get so famous compared to others? And I think, the fact that innocent people died, and it was innocent people involved, it wasn't just, submarine scuba divers, sea explorers. It was just people that wanted to go see the Titanic and paid for a trip or an experience. I think it really freaked people out. I think the ocean is just honestly really terrifying sometimes, like the depths of it, and there's so much
Right.
unknown creatures down there. And I think, I don't know, there's just something very fascinating. And it's weird how the submarine story kind of resembles the actual story of the Titanic. And I think that's what a lot of the memes were about, is, they got the full Titanic experience. And that's why they're, I don't know, it's just really eerie.
Yeah, no, that's so right. It's so funny to talk to you because you really are like a Titanic super fan. I know you loved Titanic. You loved that scene, the slap scene with like the please give me like the stop. But anyway, I think it's fun to talk to someone that has seen it a lot and likes it a lot, especially like with this new submarine thing. But I'd love to hear like a hot take you have about the Titanic, about like an actor and an actress, or about a scene, or about literally anything. Like now that we're talking about Titanic, we might as well get a hot take in here.
Oh gosh, I mean, well, it's my favorite movie ever, and I personally am, maybe I'm biased, but I think it's the greatest movie of all time, and I think everything about that film was done perfectly. And I think finding out that James Cameron has himself visited the Titanic wreckage 33 times just strengthens my hot take that it's just a perfect film. And I actually don't think I would change anything about it. When I was little, I thought that the opening where they are showing all that footage of the wreckage was boring. But I think now, after this story, I almost want to go back and watch it. So I don't
That's
know.
no, that's honestly a good point. I feel like now because of this whole submarine thing, I was thinking there has to have been a spike in people watching the Titanic right now because this submarine thing is such a big deal that there has to be like some type of like resurgence of the Titanic like coming back to people's screens. I want to watch it. Like literally
Yeah.
last night we were like, let's watch the Titanic because we just are starting to think about it. Starting to think about
Yeah.
Leo. I miss young Leo. Now he's
Yeah. He was No, I when I was little, I loved the movie for just, I don't know, the cinematography or the ocean. And then when I was a little bit older and I watched it, I was like, wait, I love the actor. I
no.
love the lead in this. So
No, and it also like is so exciting because we did a Titanic like immersive experience. Where even were we? Were we in
I don't
North Carolina?
remember. Oh, we should talk about that.
Yeah, we were in, I feel like it was North Carolina. I literally can't remember. But we basically got assigned a person. Like each of us went into this like museum kind of, look at all the artifacts type of situation. And each of us got assigned a person and a social class and like, your first class, your second class, your third class, you had a real name for a real person that was on the Titanic. And
Mhm.
you went through the whole like museum. And then at the end of it, they told you whether you lived or not, which is crazy. And I died. I was
Yeah.
like a mistress, wasn't I? I think I
Yeah.
was. I was like a mistress to this like rich man, and I died. But Elise, you lived, didn't you?
Yeah, I forget who I was. I think I was a third class citizen and I lived
Yeah,
on the game. And dad, remember, our dad was someone that's in the movie. He got assigned like the richest man on the ship.
right.
And I think he passed away too. He didn't make
Yeah,
it.
he was the one in the movie with the mustache, and he was
Yeah.
kind of like he like got on a lifeboat and like in front of women and children,
Mhm.
and he ended up dying. So karma, I guess. But yeah, I remember I was like a mistress and I died, and then my dad was like the richest man. He died, and then you
Yeah.
and mom were third class, like working citizens,
Mhm.
and then you guys lived. So it was just
Yeah.
fun. Like it was such a fun, immersive experience. And I bet, something like that is definitely going to get more popular. It looks like an updated Titanic is coming back to the big screen, which is super exciting. That's something
Mhm.
that I haven't seen before, but that's just so exciting.
Yeah, I believe it's funny. They posted about it just yesterday, which I don't know if it's because of everything that's going on, but um I know that they had it back. Actually, no, I think that they had it back for Valentine's Day in honor of their 25th anniversary of the movie. They
Mm.
had they had Titanic going on in screen, and I've actually seen Titanic in theaters. I went in 2012 when it was the 100th anniversary of the ship sinking. And
Oh,
that movie is just meant for the theaters.
oh my
It
gosh.
looks so different on the big screen. It was absolutely gorgeous to watch. And you know what's crazy about that movie is it's from the 90s, but just from like a film perspective, it holds up so well. I think the cinematography from that movie, which is in 1997, is totally blends in with the movies I'm watching today. I mean,
Right.
I don't know what James Cameron did or what he paid for, but
Yeah.
it's just gorgeous to watch. But
Sure. No, but the Titanic is so fun to talk about. It's so mysterious. It's so bougie. It's so it's just so fun to talk about. But we could talk about it all day. But we do have to take a break. And the Angel Baby Show is coming back with an interview. Elise, do you want to talk a little bit about your interview?
yeah, I am interviewing two very cool people. I'm interviewing Dimitri Logothetis. He's the director of an upcoming movie called Gunner, and he talks about working with Morgan Freeman, Luke Hemsworth, and Arnold Schwarzenegger's son. So he gave great advice. And then I also talked to an upcoming actress, Ariel Racine, who's in the new Mel Gibson movie, and she just gives great advice about making it in the industry and self-love. So I'm super excited to share those interviews with you guys.
Wait, I'm so excited. Okay,
Yeah.
come back to us after our break. This is the Angel Baby Show with Elise and Ava Lynn, and we'll see you in just a few.
Bye.
Bye. Mm.
That was really good. That was fun. That was interesting. Sorry, did I send you outdated information?
No.
No, I just was, I was
guess I
like,
should read it before I send it to
no.
you.
Okay.
I was so slow in the beginning. I felt like I was talking like a sloth.
No, it's really good actually. And yes, not one Wi-Fi interruption.
Oh.
Yay.
Okay, let me pause this recording so it's easy for Richard to cut. Hold on one moment, please. And are you guys, I don't distract you too much when I send you little notes, do I?
No,
No,
no.
it's so helpful.
Yeah,
And
super
please,
helpful.
like, if we ever say something like, I don't know, I hope I didn't say anything too like